The 40-day period leading up to Easter is a time of turning attention from the pleasures of this world and focusing on spiritual growth. CBN's Billy Hallowell explores creative ways to fast, pray, and seek the Lord during this important season.
For millions of faithful, Lent is a time for prayer, repentance, and fasting. The observance, which extends from Ash Wednesday through Holy Week, has traditionally been a Catholic practice, although 20% of American Protestants also participate in an effort to get closer to God.
Christians traditionally try to focus on Christ's death and resurrection and ways that we can kind of prepare our hearts for the coming Easter season. And many Christians celebrate in all sorts of different ways.
Pastor Shane Idleman explains the spiritual benefit of intentional fasting.
And as you're praying and fasting more, you're really drawn in to just experiencing God in a more profound and powerful way. One thing about fasting is it doesn't bend God's arm, but it bends my knees in a time of prayer and seeking Him.
We often hear of folks giving up chocolate, candy, or other food to place a deeper focus on Christ. Brittany counters that there are other ways to take part, even if you get a late start.
While I do love the structure of Lent, everybody going through it together, it is never too late to start a spiritual discipline, whether that is giving something up or adding something in. If you are thinking right now, I should have given this thing up, or I should have started this new practice. I've been meaning to read my Bible more. I've been meaning to spend more time in prayer. There's no time like the present. You can start today.
While Lent is typically focused on abstaining from something, Brittany sometimes seeks to add to her routine, such as opting for more intentional quiet time or small acts of sacrifice for others.
Even unique ideas like taking a farther away parking space. Maybe you're just going to give that little sacrifice so that somebody else can have a special space. Maybe you're going to pay for the person in front of you. There's all kinds of things you can do.
Pastor Idleman believes fasting, regardless of the time of the year, is a biblical practice that can offer a spiritual recharge and a deeper relationship with the Almighty.
It's powerful when your heart's right. You walk into just this season where you've repented. Your self-discipline. I don't think it should be a period of 6 weeks of self-discipline and then give up and go back to our old habits. This is a time to really instill some good habits into our life.
Though we're already in the middle of Lent, it's never too late to dive in. After all, the biblical benefits of fasting can clearly be gleaned at any time of the year. Consider praying, seeking the Lord, and following His cues on how to proceed. This is Billy Hallowell for CBN News.
Some really good advice there. Gordon, back to you.
My mother would give up sweets every single Lent, and that's something that I learned from her going along. My father hated sweets. He didn't want any sugar in the house at all. Mom had a real weakness for spice drops and jelly beans. But every Lent, she'd give all of that up. It's a good lesson for all of us, and it's a good lesson for my father as well. Why not give up sweets altogether and just make that a permanent part of your lifestyle, that you don't want the inflammation from sugar? Here's the deal, though. If you just view it as a 40-day thing, are you doing it unto the Lord or not? For fasting, it needs to be unto the Lord. For your own well-being, let it be a lifestyle for you, and let the 40 days be the beginning of a whole